Hi everyone, today's video is going to be a continuation of my subscription box makeup collection. So these are all the items I've gotten in subscription boxes. And I've had Ipsy, BoxyCharm, Birchbox, Wantable, Allure Beauty Box, Sephora Play. So I've had quite a few subscription services. Now these are all the ones that I have at this moment. There definitely might be some that I've already used up. And so I'll go ahead and link my playlist of empties down below, as well as my Project Pan playlist. But let's just go ahead and get into it. So first I'm going to start with pigments. And I know that subscription services give out a lot of pigments and a lot of people don't like them. Now I have said before, I don't like this type of pigment. The pigments that come with this stopper, I feel like they're just not very useful. And this color is, this is the Pixi pigment in the shade Brightening Mare. And it's a horrible color. So I don't love this. I don't love this format. But loose pigments, I do really enjoy. So I actually have two blue ones. This is the Mica Beauty Shimmer Powder in the shade Harlequin. And this is that blue that you see on either side of my attempted halo eye. I'm not very good at halo eyes, I'll be honest. And I also have the Inika Mineral Eyeshadow in the shade Eternal Marine. So these are similar colors. The Eternal Marine's a little more gray. Now pigments obviously are a little bit messier, so I'm not going to swatch these. But I love pigments, and I think that they're definitely worth using. I also have three from the brand Marsk. I have the shade Vanilla Frosting, which is the white that you see in my inner corner. I love this, and I'm actually panning it at the moment. I have the Smoky Gray in the shade 50 Shades. Now, I don't love a gray pigment just because of how I use gray. I don't really necessarily want a pigment for it. And I have the shade Lucky Penny. Oh, no, sorry. Your Toast, which is another, like, it's a coppery shade. It's pretty, but again, I like pigments for really unique, impactful colors. So, like, a copper or something that a little more like general, I'm not as big of a fan of. So those are all of the pigments that I've gotten from subscription boxes. Now we're going to go to all of the eyeshadow singles. Ooh, this is not, oops, I accidentally pulled out the wrong thing. That's okay. So the rest of these are going to be eyeshadow singles that I have gotten from subscription boxes. First is this Urban Decay shadow in this shade Fireball. This is one of their like duochrome shadows. Though I don't feel like there's a lot of duochrome to it, if we're being honest. I mean, I guess, okay, so there is, it's really pretty. This I got in Ipsy, and I was really excited because Urban Decay is definitely a very well-known, popular brand, as y'all probably know, so I was excited to have that. I also got something from the Balm, which is another brand that I really like. I have one of their eyeshadow palettes, and I really liked. This is from their Meet Matrimony palette, and this is the shade Matte Kumar, I believe. Yeah. It's that gorgeous purple. So much pigment. Really excited that I got that. Then I've got a couple of other brands I've just never really heard of. So I have the Veronica Clo... Oh! That's broken. Didn't know that. Now it's everywhere. So it's the shade Clover. Gonna go ahead and chuck that, I guess. So, because it's on the ground and I have dogs. This is what it did look like. It was like a, you know, a kind of a orangey shade. It wasn't that unique, for being honest, but it just broke everywhere. So, that's always fun. Got it all over my pants now. Okay, doing a little bit of cleanup. Oh well, things happen. So, there we go. That shadow we're not really going to talk about. I've got this green shadow from NYX. This is the NYX shade Prismatic shadow in Jaded. This is the only Prismatic shadow I have, and I want more. Because, like, that's really nicely pigmented. And they're not that expensive. Then I have this Starlooks shadow that I do really like. This is the shade Enter Eden. It has that, like, rubberized packaging, but it's, like, sticky and kind of nasty. This is also kind of duochrome with some gold. You see that gold reflect? It's gorgeous. It is a little bit harder to apply. I like to use a sponge tip applicator with that specific shadow, but it's beautiful. And I got that, I think, in a Birchbox. I never had this. Starlooks did have their own subscription service. I never had that. Oh, I didn't mention Glossy Box. I did have Glossy Box, and in the Glossy Box, I got this Emite makeup eyeshadow. That's actually what's my liner today. I use this black eyeshadow. Sorry. It's very black. That's not a very good swatch. But it is very, very, very black, and it's a nice eyeshadow, so that was exciting. And then I've got this Manna Kadar Fantasy shade. This is kind of weird. It's kind of like a pinky silver, so it is unique. I feel like for certain skin tones, you could actually use it as a face product. But it is pretty. It is pretty. Sorry. And then I've got some just kind of boring shades that I don't love. This is the Teeny Beauty, but for Rob Sheppy in the shade Pearl Fizz. Oh, probably shouldn't have swatched it with that black. It's just like a typical shiny shade. Nothing very exciting. Similarly, we have the Pacifica single shadow in the shade Ethereal. Now, this is a very nice quality eyeshadow. I will say that. A lot of pigmentation. It's right there, so you can even comparing. Like, it's a gorgeous shadow. It's just, I like more unique makeup. I have a bunch, and I feel like a lot of, I know people get mad when I say this, and I don't really understand why. Most people that have eyeshadow palettes have a lot of those shades, so I feel like they're not that unique. Then I have this Inspr shade Carnival. Again, it's a pretty, like, metallic-y taupe. It's not a bad shade. It's very pigmented and nice. It's just not very exciting. And most recently, I got this by Doucce Cosmetics. It's the Freematic shadow in the shade Veronica. And I did not like this one. This one had a lot of fallout. I got this recently in a Birchbox. And a lot of fallout and not a lot of pigment. It's kind of like a coppery orange shade. So those are all my singles. So I do have some really nice ones that I enjoy from subscription services and some that fell a little more flat for me. Alright, then I got one duo. This is the Coastal Scents eyeshadow sampler. This is something that Birchbox will do, and that's fine. But Coastal Scents is already a pretty inexpensive brand. Actually, Ipsy has done it too. But these shades, this is the Stylized palette sampler. Look at how pretty those shades are. Like, really nicely pigmented. I actually would be interested in getting this palette just based on the sampler. So that's nice. I've got a couple of trios. One is horrible. This is the Ipsy NYX trio. Y'all. Besides the fact that these shades are super duper boring, they're not pigmented. There they are. They're just, I don't really like that at all. I have a Pacifica trio. And you can see that those shades, again, are very similar. This is Skinny Dip, Crush, and Lonely are the shades in here. Again, not very pigmented, but it is really smooth. And in case you didn't know, Pacifica is actually vegan. I got John's sister some Pacifica makeup for her birthday. Because I do like their makeup brand. And that's, I mean, those are, this, like, one is kind of pinky. I do kind of like that. And like I said, though Pacifica has no issue with their quality. I really like Pacifica makeup. And then I've got this Smashbox trio. I was really excited when I got this. It is kind of a smaller trio. And it's got Vanilla, Sable, and Sumatra. And these are really nice. They're typical Smashbox shadows. I actually just did a best and worst of Smashbox Cosmetics. And I'll go ahead and link that below if you're interested. I like their shadows. They're kind of powdery, but I do enjoy them. So then I've got two quads that I've gotten from subscription services as well. I have this Eddie Funkhouser one. I got this when I still had Wantable. This is in the shade Ultimate Smoky Eye. So again, just really kind of typical shades. Although this sparkly shade, I do really like. It's kind of pinky. So really nice quality. Nothing negative to say about that. But just kind of boring. I guess, like, you know, that's what people like sometimes, but not me. This is the Coastal Scents Revealed 3 palette sampler, so another palette sampler from Birchbox, from Coastal Scents. Here we are. This one is not near as pigmented. That gold is really striking, but the other 3 shades are just kind of lackluster. But it is a unique, like, unique shades. And last, I have the Real Her Do Your Squats palette. I used the shade Divine today. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I didn't have BoxyCharm for that long. And I was not impressed with this palette. Like I've said a lot, it is kind of just typical shades. But it's also just really not very pigmented. And then I'll do that. Like, not pigmented, and look at those 5 shades. They look so similar. So not a big fan of that palette. That's the only, like, full-size palette I've ever gotten. I know BoxyCharm does put out palettes quite frequently. So if you're interested, then that's cool. But I I don't know. I'm just not a very big fan of that. So, after having subscription boxes for like over 3 years, almost 4 even, that's everything that I've collected that are eyeshadows. Some of them are really great and they're cool and I do like them, and some of them are just kind of lackluster and okay. But that's what happens. That's kind of the risk you run with subscription services. I do have a best and worst subscription service video where I kind of go through things that I like and don't like, and like what I think are the best subscription services available. So I'll link that down below in case you're interested, as well as my beauty box playlist so you can see me unboxing some of these. But yeah, that's everything that's eyeshadow that I've gotten. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please leave any questions, requests, suggestions, comments down below. I love speaking with y'all. It's one of my favorite things, and I'll just see y'all real soon. Bye.